there, welcome back guys. In today's video we're going to be going over the CREALITY additional filament spool. That's right, you have some PLA filament or whatever filament you're using on the Ender 3 S1 Pro, because that's what this part will go to. And again, it's original CREALITY part. You have three options. You can get it from Amazon, you can buy it from the Alibaba website, or you can 3D print your own. Now the only downside to 3D printing it is that it won't come with the bearings built in, and it's a little bit expensive on Amazon, but I chose to go through the Alibaba website because it was only $7 on Amazon. Same part, $25. I don't know how they do it, but if you don't mind waiting, print it, build it yourself, get it from Amazon if you have the budget, or wait 2 to 3 weeks or maybe even a week and order it from the Alibaba website. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get started. Let's see how this thing installs, and hopefully it works and doesn't hold down the printer, right? All right, come. All right, so this is the end of the spool. As you can see, there's a little groove in there, and inside there's a little knob. And so what you want to do is you want to put it in and then turn it in the direction that it needs to go, depending if you're going to use this on the left or the right. As you can see, for me, I have to turn it the opposite way, which is actually clockwise instead of counterclockwise, which might be the other way. But in this particular case, we turn it clockwise. See that? And then it's tight. And you want to make sure it's in there and it doesn't move, because the last thing you want to do is put the filament on and then have it crash down onto your printer. So again, as you can see the groove right there, and then turn it. See how I turn it? Push it in and make sure it just matches with the little knob, and do not put the filament on until it actually is, you test it with your hands. See, clockwise. See that? And then move it just to make sure, because you got to get this done right, because if not, you can damage your printer, because the filament spool is pretty heavy, and it could be an expensive, costly repair. And then you just put the filament right on. See, it just goes on as easy as 1, 2, 3, right through the hole. But you want to make sure you're holding, see how I'm holding the end of it, so that it can just like spool out, because sometimes it can be tangled in there, and just put it back in. And then what you want to do is just cut the remaining color, whatever's left over from the color that you're going to take out, and just leave a little bit so you can pull it out with your hand. See? And you also want to make sure the bed's a little bit, the nozzle's warm, so that it can come out easily without, friction. You don't want to build up any friction in between, because you're pulling in the opposite direction. And so when it's warmer, it just works better. So you can see, look at that. Nice, right? You could have two colors on there. Of course, you'll have to, change them, because you can only do one color at a time, but it's really easy. Again, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the temperature to the nozzle, so make sure that it's actually up. I put it at 65. You could put it at 60, whichever works best for you. Certain filaments require different heating number, but for me, I just put it at 65, so it just gets a little bit hotter. And you just wait a little bit, wait it out. But look at that. And then when you pull it up, see, this is the filament detector. So what you want to do is just pull out the remnants from the filament detector or sensor, whatever you want to call it, and then hold the remains in your hands. And what you want to do is you want to take the end and just run it through the the two holes, because this will help keep it locked in, because it can get tangled. There have been times where I had to cut it, because I'm like, wait, where's the end? Because it's really taut in there, it just gets tangled and somehow winds up in a weird direction. As you can see, here, I'm like, wait, where is it? Right? Because it was there, but it's not there. But you can easily mess things up if you don't do it right. All right, so as you can see, we're running through the sensor, right? And you just run it through from the little hole. But as you can see, I'm going to switch them, because what you want to do is you want to have the color you're using in the middle, right, and the color you're not using on the other side. You probably could do it the other way. As you saw, it went straight down the middle. It just works better. And as you can see, it's a little warm, but the remnants just comes out. Look at that. See? And you just be careful and make sure you get everything when you pull it out. And then you just run it through. It does fling back, but you just have to be careful, but it won't damage anything. And you just hold down the button, and then you push it in the hole, and then voila. See, we're there, but we're almost there. So now what you got to do is hold down the button and push the old color through. See, watch on 3, 2, 1. You'll see it. See the remnants come out, and just do it until everything is solid yellow, solid blue, whatever color it is that you're using. And then you just pull the remains off. See that? It will string a little bit. See? Voila, it's a mixture of a yellowish gray, but you just make sure you get everything. And sometimes you want to go in there with the tweezers because you get these little stragglers, as you can see, and you just don't want them on the board. And then voila, as easy as 1, 2, 3. Make sure you double check everything before you start your print, because again, you'll have remnants of something before the print starts. And if it's small, leave it. If it looks big, just go in there really quick with the tweezers and get whatever you can, so that your print doesn't get messed up. And as you can see, so far so good. Looks like I just pushed the print there. There might be one more in there, but I had to go get it really quick. And you got to be fast when you do that. It's a technique. You'll get it. And see, voila. See, it's just priming the nozzle. We're just doing a test print of what we can get with the yellow, because you want to test print and print something just to make sure everything took and everything is seated correctly. And as you can see, look at that, the primer line, I call it. And then it's gonna I was gonna do a skirt, but I believe the brim actually works better on this particular print. It's actually a fidget, a really nice fidget, by the way. So you always watch the first layer, make sure everything takes, and then then you just walk away, you set it and forget it. But in this particular case, because I just changed the filament, I kind of want to watch everything to make sure that just when you think everything's good, things can just go bad instantly. Sometimes this does happen on a filament change, but rarely. But it'll probably only happened to me about twice. But so far so good, as you can see. And voila, look at that, deeper into the print. It's almost done, which is great. And you can see it's called a waffle fidget. The waffle fidget is just something great kids like, or you can have one. You don't have. It's I think for ages 5 and up, and so far so good. Just watching. Look at that. See everything. It's really easy, and I'm also watching it because I want to make sure that the other one holds. Because I guess you got two rolls up there, and can it handle it? Can it take it? But yeah, it looks like it can. It looks like it did. As you can see here, I should push it in a little more because it's more on the edge, and it shouldn't be on the edge. It should be flush against the inside. But yeah, I think it's all right. So far so good. I have no complaints. And voila, look, it's finished. The waffle fidget. It's a little tricky getting it off the board because it is hot and everything held, as you see. And no complications. And the only complications would be trying to take this off the board while it's still hot. If you wait 15 to 20 minutes, the thing will just come right off instantly. But if you pull it, see, voila, looks like a waffle. Just don't put any maple syrup on it and try to eat it because, this is not edible. And then you just have to take off the layer, the brim layer. That actually is on there, and you just have to go through each and every one and just squeeze it a little bit at a time. And once you squeeze it a little bit at a time, you'll finally get it to function the way it does. But there's still you have to go through each and every hole and take off the excess. And, it does take a little bit of time, but it's fun and rewarding. The reward is with 3D printing is getting it to print, and you're like, oh my god, this is great, it actually did print. And see, look at that. You just get in there and try. You have to be careful. You have to distinguish between your print and the so it was the support, whether it's brim, skirt, tree, etc. Or raft. You make sure that you're just taking off the support and not destroying the object itself, which I have done on one of the prints where I accidentally pulled it. And look, voila. See, well, it's like a bit of a slinky. It pops out of your hands. And kids love it. Look at that. Kind of neat, huh? As easy as 1, 2, 3, just swapping out filaments just by cutting it. I'll leave a link in the video description for those of you who want to know how to change the filament. But once you do it once, it's pretty much done the same way forever, and it just comes to naturally, and you can just change the filament anytime. The hardest part is just picking a color once you narrow down and hone this skill. Anyway, I hope this video helped you in better understanding on how you can have an additional filament holder for your spool on your Ender 3 S1 Pro. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.